Doctor Strange, master of the mystic arts. The sands of death. It all began with Umar. To defeat the dread sister of Dormammu, Doctor Strange used his mystic powers to free the monstrous Zom, her eternal enemy. Yet now, even Zom has been driven from the earth by the coming of the awesome, the unimaginable. Living Tribunal. There, who says we don't keep notes on our own swingin' stories? Hear me, mortal, because you have unwittingly unleashed upon the cosmos a menace which threatens the worlds beyond worlds. Earth must be destroyed. This, then, is the unknown being of whose approach the Ancient One warned me. But my mentor is no more. And, with even my cloak of levitation ablaze, how can I stand against my three-visaged accusers? Stan Lee prestigiously presents a Roy Thomas Marie Severin. Talismanic Tour de Force. Inked by Herb Trimp. Lettered by Artie Simek. Mystic Masters, all. Okay, got your amulet strapped on, faithful one? Then let us enter the mystical realm together. But I need waste no more words on one who is beneath my notice. Now shall be pronounced the incantation of oblivion, and your puny planet shall exist nevermore. Such is the decree of the living tribunal. No, wait! This must not be! You have stood in judgment, rendered an everlasting verdict, without allowing any to speak in defense of the earth. I stand convicted, and my world sentenced, without knowing wherein lies my guilt. Impudent mortal! Do you suppose that the laws of your hapless sphere are binding upon those who rule the dimensions? You and your world are condemned in the eyes of him who has come to judge you. That is all you know or need to know. And yet, it is my will that the punished should know the cause of his dire fate. Therefore, gaze deep into the searing orbs of my eyes, mortal, and learn. Then, as the mystic master peers, a phantasmagorical panorama unfolds anew before him. It's uncanny. I feel as though I am truly reliving the terror of days past. You sense, rightly doomed one. Watch on as you battle once again with Umma, the unmentionable. To drive her from your world, you did release Zom from his eternal imprisonment. Then, in severing Zom's forelock, you committed the second, the unpardonable sin. For, in so doing, you set free the forces of mystic anarchy, which now threaten to engulf us all. But first, lest you think that naught but one face of the living tribunal, that of equity, has decided against you. Let it be known that the face of revenge concurs. Vengeance is ours. Likewise the hooded visage of necessity. We must act ere it be too late. So say we all. And now we shall show you your crime, for which the earth must pay the ultimate price, so that you may realize fully the immensity of your offense. I shall recreate a scene from a time when time was not. Observe, piteous one, the very birth of your world. He conjures up a vision of the beginnings of the universe itself. I must avert my eyes. 'Tis not meant that mere mortal should look on such a sight. And, as Doctor Strange once more turns his gaze upon the mammoth figure before him. All the dimensions, each nebulous netherworld, which exists either in time or in space, either as matter or as fathomless void, such were given over into the eternal, deathless keeping of the living tribunal. Yet, in each self-contained cosmos, by celestial design, there was one being who was the supreme master of sorcery, and one only. Or, so it was until you released Zom. But now, because of your folly, the million galaxies are in direst peril. Then, the dread Dormammu and the others, I envision, were all part of some infinite plan, some precarious balance. A balance which I have somehow upset. Yes, puny human, for, as you see, I can read your innermost secret thoughts. Since the first striking of the clock of time, it has been ordained that the mystic powers should be kept in everlasting equilibrium. When Zom was unleashed, even for so short a span, the very framework of infinity was rent asunder. But I acted to save the earth, the very dimensions themselves. There was no evil in my intent. Silence! Do you think that such mortal mutterings as good and evil, right and wrong, have meaning to such as the living tribunal? Next, observe the flowering of the many-headed evil which your thoughtless act has set in motion, both upon earth and upon the worlds beyond worlds. There appear before me countless faces, the images of those who possess a dormant talent for black magic, and among the many. Before Zom was freed, this man was a humble druggist, but at this very moment, I've done it. After years of futile studying, I have suddenly mastered the ritual of the circles of fire. I sense the knowledge of the ancients surge through my burning brain. No longer need I pore in vain over useless occult texts. Now, the powers I seek reside in me alone. And yet, I must test these new abilities further. That bookcase, it shall be the means whereby I test my powers. Well do I remember the mystic spell, though it has never worked for me before. By the shades of the shadows, by the wand of Watum. May no object prevent me. May I pass from this room. It's working! It's working! It's as if the bookcase and the wall beyond it did not even exist while I spoke the mystic words. I do not know how I gained such power, but it does not matter. For years, men have called me a charlatan, a dreamer, a madman. Yet now the day is at hand when I will have revenge. I shall possess wealth without measure, as I possess mystic power without limit. Then, enough of yon distasteful pageant. I but chose it at random from among many such scenes now being enacted on earth. For, in each far-flung corner of your world, long slumbering skills of sorcery are awakening. And, because Zom was evil, so their own evil bent is increased. Then, even as the living tribunal speaks, visions without number flood the reeling brain of Doctor Strange, each more sinister than the one before. Until, hold, though I am master of the mystic arts, I can bear no more. Yet surely not even hordes of evil sorcerers may upset the cosmic balance so long as they remain alone as separate entities. Your words are true, mortal, But only a fool could fail to see that it is merely a matter of time before they begin to unite. And, in that fast approaching hour, Earth must be destroyed. No, I say to you, it shall not be. What? You dare? I dare. Although you be judgment incarnate, though you wield power enough to move the very stars or sway the course of unknown galaxies, still do I hurl this challenge that before you may destroy the world wherein I dwell, you must first defeat. Doctor Strange, then you would pit your puny strength against mine? Beware, foolish human. Use rather your mystic powers to carry you to safety, to a place that shall be untouched by my wrath. For, see what befalls if the living tribunal but raise his hand the next moment before the awe-struck eyes of the mortal magician. Tremble, insolent one, at this image of the fate which has been decreed for your accursed sphere. At my command, its polar regions shall expand their massive ice caps, crushing all before them till they do blanket the entire globe. And, in the end, Earth's crust shall be shrunk, then splintered by their massive weight, and the very planet reduced to floating cosmic dust. Then, and only then, may the worlds beyond worlds be deemed eternally safe. Must I now view the Earth's coming destruction, as I earlier did turn from its creation? The terrifying vision seems so real, so imminent, even though I know it is but the shadow of a shadow. Can it be because my world is truly doomed and my mystic struggle is foredestined to failure? No, I dare not consider even the possibility of defeat, lest, by doing so, I make defeat inevitable. Rather, I must strike that the living tribunal may know my strength. By the awesome, nameless race, by the evil I abhor. Let my fearsome foe now face the rings of Ragador. Fool, know you not that even such a potent curse is futile against one who makes? The sign of the seraphim. May the eternal Vishanti protect me. I am imprisoned by my own spell. Now, let the encircling bands grow tighter, ever tighter, until the voice of Doctor Strange pleads for mercy. Plead? Nay, never shall any hear such a cry from my lips, not though I perish. Then perish you shall. For no human, not even a sorcerer, may escape the roving rings of Ragador. Perhaps not one mortal, but you forget that I also possess the power bequeathed to me by the vanished Ancient One. The mystic bonds are severed. Never has even the living tribunal beheld such a sight. But yon feat has surely weakened you. While I have power enough with the merest gesture to call forth the constraining rings yet a second time, the enchanted bands reappear twice as strong as before. Then you would still seek to enslave me and destroy my world, you who have no right? Who has the audacity to challenge my right? Across the years, I and before me, the departed Ancient One, have waged unending battle with the forces of darkness, while you, from a place of sanctuary, have but watched. Enough! Speak no more, lest you precede your puny planet in death. Hold! The rings of Ragador vanish from view. I, in your anger, you have forgotten about them. And a spell neglected is a spell broken. Now, ere you may summon the banns yet a third time, in the name of the omnipotent Oshtur, let me be enveloped by the flickering flames of the Faltine. Even so, I know that in an instant's thought you may utterly destroy me and the earth. But have I not shown that I possess the power, as I possess the will, to deal with the menace to the worlds beyond worlds? Deny not, mortal, that you are stronger than I deemed possible. Yet your words can have but little substance. When your own cloak of levitation lies burnt and vulnerable at my very feet. Let it, then, be the final test of my powers. What say you? Have I your bond? That, if you restore your cloak, I shall grant your world a reprieve? Agreed for, the garment was charred by the monstrous, mystical Zom thus. None but the greatest of sorcerers could undo it. This, then, shall be most fateful challenge of all. For, if I fail, I fall. And, if I fall, then falls the earth. I know that the living tribunal, he who even now reads my innermost thoughts, spoke true. The accursed Zom did sear my cape at that very instant when I seized his mystic forelock and his rage was at its height. To restore it now would be a feat supreme. Yet I must try. Must. I am allowed but one incantation. May Oshtur grant that 'tis the right one. And now I begin. By the crimson bands of Sitarak, by Hoggoth's hoary horde, by the dreaded demons, my cloak of Denak. My cloak, now rise restored. A moment passes, a long, fearful moment, which looms over a silent earth like an ominous sword. Until the cloak stirs, is it? But the wind? But then, as time itself seems to pause in wonder, it rises, yet that is only half the spell. The next second, amidst a blazingly brilliant flash of light, my cloak of levitation 'tis truly restored, as when 'twas first bestowed upon me. Praise be to the eternal Vishanti and to the omniscience of my vanished mentor for this greatest of boons. Then, as the garment floats to its proper place, now, O judge of the infinite cosmos, know you that I am truly master of the mystic arts. I have earned the right to do battle for the lives of mankind. In the name of the all-seeing Agamotto, I call upon you to honor our compact. Let none say that the living tribunal does e'er betray his sacred word. Yet, even have not the power to spare your threatened world for long. For my true function, that task for which I was primevally created, is to protect the worlds without end, to whom your earth is but a speck of pust. I ask only a chance, immortal one, and such time as you may grant, and, as truly as the 1,000,000 galaxies are in my keeping, you shall have it. Stand you back, while, from the depths of timeless time, I do summon the glass of doom. From nowhere, as if the very cosmos itself were shredded, I sense a shimmering, sentient light, a boundless force. Need it further proof that the living tribunal does possess limitless power? Power which would destroy the earth if he but nod? Then, from out of infinite nothingness, there appears a glowing, gargantuan hourglass, which the fading figure turns over in his Herculean hands. Heed my final words, mortal. You have but little time in which to undo the evil wrought by the freeing of Zom. For, though I now depart, when the sands of death have run their full course, I shall return. And, in that hour, the earth shall surely perish. He is gone back to the nameless void from whence he came. But, even as he vanishes, the fateful golden sands begin slowly to sift. The next instant, the enchanted cloak lifts Dr. Strange into the darkened skies. Not a moment, not the merest microsecond, may I tarry in Stonehenge. I must hasten to my sanctum sanctorum to seek out the awakening menace I have unwittingly aroused, and dispel it, but without the Ancient One at my side, to strengthen and sustain me. Shall I be able to quench the fearful flames I've stirred in time? Thus speaking, the master of the mystic arts streaks off into the sombre sky, and there is what left to show that here in this ancient place the fate of a planet hangs in precarious balance, naught save the ever-present, ever-sifting sands. Next-ish. To save a world. Next issue. The X-Men. Number 32.